Hi everyone, it's Gracie, and I'm gonna spill the tea. That was the weirdest intro ever, but okay. Sorry, I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about, but here we go. So, my parents got divorced over the summer. They sat me down on the couch and they told me that they were getting divorced. All I remember is tears streaming down my face as I left the room. And this wasn't even that long ago. It was like 6 months ago? Question mark. I remember texting my grandma and asking if I could spend a week with her to clear my head. She said yes, so I spent a week at my grandma's house. Little did I know we were actually moving in there the week after that. We lived with my grandma for a couple months, and then we found our own place, which is this apartment that I'm living in currently, not for much longer, because my mom is actually getting married again very, very soon, and we are moving in with my stepdad and my stepsister, who, funnily enough, my stepsister is actually my best friend. I'll give her a fake name, Shannon. So, Shannon and I have been best friends since we were 5. And, now our parents are getting married. So, we are gonna see each other a lot. And Shannon and I are the same age. She's a little older than me. And she's a really great person, and I love her to death. She's my best friend, and that's all I have to say about her. She's awesome, and I love her. But anyway, we are moving in with them soon, and we're gonna have Christmas together and stuff. Beside the point, but whenever that happened, I blamed myself. The reason I blamed myself was because I felt like, because of sometimes how I acted and how my attitude was, that's why they got in fights. And the fights were the reasons that they were divorcing and stuff, which isn't the case, but that's what I thought. I don't know what much to say about that. I just felt guilty, and I didn't know the whole story of why they were getting divorced, and I kind of know a little more now than I did. I know that people do make mistakes, and that there's nothing you can do to change that. The parent who made this mistake, I still love them. They are still an excellent parent, and I will always love them. Nothing's ever going to change that. The only thing that changed is that both of my parents aren't together because of it, which in the end turned out to be a good thing, because everything happens for a reason, right? And that's what you gotta remember. You gotta remember that in the world there's a lot of people. You're this little speck. You are this umbrella. If I can get it out. There are 50 gazillion other umbrellas. The reason God made you like this black umbrella with the handle like this is because He knows what you need. And He loves you. And He knows what's going to happen in your life. And everything happens for a reason because of him. He makes these things happen, and he knows that they will all work out because life has a funny way of working out. If your parents are going through divorce, it's going to be very hard. Because I know it was hard for me. Still is. I cry myself to sleep sometimes because I miss my dad, because he lives back in another state, and I don't see him except for every other weekend, which, to go from seeing someone every single day of your life to go seeing them like almost none is really hard. And so I cry a lot because of it, because the only relationship I feel like I have with my dad is over FaceTime. Whenever him and I used to be really close. And, sorry. But we used to be really close. And, so that's hard to go through. But in the end, as I can say, like, I'm happy with the situation. I'm gonna get to see my best friend Shannon every day. And that's gonna be great. I mean, we'll get on each other's nerves for sure. And she's watching this video because I'm sending it to her. Shannon, you know who you are, even though that's not your real name. I love you. And yeah, so my parents went through a divorce. And my dad started dating, which is still really hard for me. Because my dad has a tendency not to follow through with things, which scares me. And for me, I feel like it's harder when your dad is dating than when your mom is. But then again, for my mom, I knew the person she was dating, like, really well, and I liked them a lot. And I mean, I know the person that my dad is dating. I knew them from church, but it's not the same. We didn't have, like, a relationship. And for me, that was hard. Because I also knew some things were gonna happen, and I knew that they wouldn't be in a relationship forever. Because my dad was moving away from the state so he could be closer to us, and she wasn't willing to move, and she's not willing to move from what I think. And so I don't want to get in on something and then I don't want to get hurt, but I also don't want to see my dad hurt, which makes it hard because if he's hurt, I'll be hurt, and I don't want him to be hurt because he's my dad. And so it's difficult still to this day. Sometimes it's really difficult to go through it, even though the divorce is like over. In my mind, it's not. It's really hard. But if you're going through a similar situation, you're gonna be okay. I promise. You're not at blame for anything. You were perfectly and wonderfully made. God loves you, and I love you. Peace.